Good morning. Welcome to your radio friend, AM 1400 WRJN. We're in the midst of community conversations and a whole lot more. We're going to be talking now about a movie that is going to be featured this weekend at an event called the Wildwood Film Festival. It's an event going on in Appleton to promote Wisconsin film talent and to educate high school students and adults in film basics, including script writing, storyboarding, filming, lighting, so on and so forth. If it has to do with a movie, you probably learn about it at the Wildwood Film Festival. And the movie, basically it's going to be wrapping things up for the entire festival, is a film that is made by somebody who lives here in Racine. It's the story of a lounge singer with an odd name and a strange past to go along with it. It's a movie called Super Deluxe, and the fellow who put that movie together, who is a Racine resident, joins us right now on AM 1400 WRJN to talk about Super Deluxe. We welcome to the program Mark Maj. Mark, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, sir.
How you doing, Ted? Glad to be here.
It's great to have you with us, especially a Racine product who puts together this film, and this film, of all the films that are going to be featured at this festival in Appleton, Saturday night, the very last film that's going to be shown is your film, Super Deluxe, and that's got to be a great feeling, seeing that you are getting that kind of spotlight for your film.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, we're just so lucky to be chosen for the film festival. There's hundreds of films that are entered in this film festival, and the film festival's been going on for around 14 years, I guess. And I mean, it's like I said, it's an honor to be chosen for that out of the hundreds of films.
Yeah, indeed. So tell us about Super Deluxe. What's the movie about, sir?
Well, Super Deluxe is kind of a strange little story. It's kind of a quirky story. Of course, you just said it's about a washed-up lounge singer who thinks he's a player with the ladies. He's got the old cheesy pickup lines and everything. And then, he gets turned down a lot, and he works at a lounge called Lenny's Lizard Lounge. And we have a lot of good, quirky characters in it, and there's a lot of plot twists in it. A lot of things that you might think are one way, and then later on they turn out to be something else. But it's a quirky little fun film, and we're just so lucky, to have made it in the southeast Wisconsin area, and we have so many great actors. We have a Robert W.C. Kennedy, who is a great theater actor in the Milwaukee area. He plays the part of Super Deluxe. Nico King is one of the leads, female leads in it. Emily Craig, Dan Catula, Felix Bofold, who plays the Spanish radio announcer that we had filmed a few scenes in WRJN.
Really?
Yeah, but it's a quirky little fun film.
Well, that's great. And the thing is, with this movie, you're using area talent, and along with that, you have a lot of people that helped you out with the movie, and altogether the experience together. And then this is the thing, because putting a movie together it takes a lot of help when it comes to so many different people, and you've got some people helping you out that already had 70 films under their belt. So really, what's going on with the production of this movie? It's a really cooperative effort by a number of people getting together. And when it comes to taking charge of a project like this, can it be difficult after a while, seeing that this is your movie and your vision?
Oh yes, it's very difficult. I'm really lucky to have my wife Leslie coordinate everything. She was my unit production manager, and without her, I probably could have done this without her. And all the other people that helped out, I got a Greg Popple. He was my cinematographer. Ross Bigley, he helped with the production of it. He has a film company in the Milwaukee area. He's the person that probably did those 70 films that you talked about. I mean, we had several people that are very well versed in filmmaking in the Milwaukee area, and it's a team effort. It's not just one person, as you know.
Indeed. Now tell us about your filmmaking history prior to putting together Super Deluxe, Mark.
Well, I had a little bit of history. I was an extra in a lot of major films. I was a lead actor in some reenactments on the Weather Channel, on the History Channel. I I went to Columbia College in Chicago way back when.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of old, so. But so I had some film experience with that. I helped out on several other productions, and then I thought, I'm gonna make my own film. So one day when I was driving home from work, I just heard the term Super Deluxe, and I thought of Robert Kennedy, and all of a sudden it just all came to me. I just wrote. It's a 35-page script. I just wrote what just came to me, and it came out as Super Deluxe. It was a very good experience to do this.
Yeah, well, okay, because altogether it's a case where as you move through acting and having all the different parts that you've had along the way, you end up making connections along the way. And so when it comes to putting this film together, how long was the process for you from the conception of the idea in general, then putting it down on paper as a script, and from there to the finish of the movie? How long total did it take to bring that all together?
Well, the script took me about, I would say, probably a couple months to figure all out, all the turns and the twists and the plot line and everything else. And then it took about a month or so to assemble all the people together, get all the talent. We had a casting call on Craigslist and some other local papers, and we all met at the Milwaukee Public Library, and we had, 40 or 50 people come in total for all these different parts. And I knew some of the people. I worked with some of them before, so I sort of knew who I wanted, for which characters, like as far as the main ones go. But I don't know if anybody knows it, but there is a lot of great talent in the Milwaukee, southeast Wisconsin area. We have Chicago to the south of us. They usually get all the attention, but there are many great independent short films that are made in the Milwaukee area that nobody knows about. That's why it's great to have these film festivals, to showcase all this.
Right.
So then the shooting took about, actually we shot it all in 6 days total. It was on weekends. So, yeah, it was on weekends, of course. We shot at Bryant's Cocktail Lounge. I don't know if that's a cocktail lounge that's in Milwaukee. Was voted the best bar in the U.S. by a magazine, a men's magazine, last year.
All right.
But, we had your location, of course. We had that bar location, and we shot at different locations in Racine and Milwaukee. But I would say altogether, it probably took about 3-4 months to get everything coordinated, and it took me about 3-4 months to edit.
Yeah,
I do my own editing too.
Yeah, and the editing process altogether, when you are in charge of the project and you actually do the editing, it probably goes by a lot quicker because you know what you want to keep, know what you want to throw out, and really it's a situation too where you have X amount of film, and even if you have control of what you're keeping and what you're disposing of, you also end up running into situations about yourself wondering, can I keep this in or will it make it too long? Was time really a concern, length of film a concern for you when it came to this?
Oh, yes, definitely, because, there's a lot of short film festivals. They won't take a film that's, 30 minutes or under, and some of them are even 15 minutes and under. So, time is important with that, and there's probably a lot of things that I wish I would have kept in this film, but I had to, give away, let's say, or put on the cutting room floor because of time restraints and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like probably like the script too, because you probably had a lot of ideas to have in the script, but then you realized, well, maybe that might not fit in, or for that matter, it's just extraneous stuff that I can leave out, and it's not it doesn't really affect the. It doesn't really affect the flow of the story. But yeah,
Correct.
When it comes with a lot of decision making, when it comes to making the movie and then editing the movie. Now, when it comes to it being a part of this festival, because we had talked about the fact that this is a festival, it introduces the best in Wisconsin film. Let's face it, as well as teaching those who want to learn more about film, about the different basics along the way. So when you ended up submitting it, obviously you got some feedback from the people from the festival about your movie. What kind of things were they mentioning that allowed it to be the very last film that's going to be shown for this entire festival?
Well, it was sort of it came as a surprise to me because, we would go back and forth in emails, and, you would submit your film, and then, they said it's going to be considered, but, they don't give out, the results until a certain time,
Right.
So then they called me and they told me that, that we were accepted and that it had the last spot in the whole festival, which is, I would think, would be the closing spot, which would be the most, one of the most important spots in the whole festival. So, like I said, we were really happy with that. They didn't really tell me why. They just liked it.
Well, as a filmmaker, and seeing that you've been somebody who's been an actor, you've worked an awful lot with these actors, but really this was your first opportunity for sitting down and making a film and getting a reaction like that where you're going to be, spotlighted the way it is. This really has to fan your fires when it comes to making more films, Mark.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I have other plans, that are coming up. I got some other ideas that I want to do. We have a good team now as far as our filmmaking friends that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of things to make. It's just that, of course, you need the time to do it, and it does take a little bit of time, but we're going to make some more films, definitely.
Yeah, now it's going to have its debut then at the festival, correct?
Correct, yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, down the road, when it comes to, say, for example, a screening like here in Racine, do you perceive any of that, something like that happening down the road?
That's a possibility, but I found out the other day that we also got accepted to the Milwaukee Short Film Festival.
Great.
That's September 11th and 12th at the Art Museum
Mm-hmm.
in downtown Milwaukee. Now, I don't know which session it's going to be in, but I know that we are in that, so that's a good thing. And we also have our feelers out for a couple other ones in the area and abroad, too. So we're just hoping that we get accepted to more.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you get a good response from the one this weekend in Appleton, it could lead to a lot of different opportunities to showcase that film, all over the Midwest, even all over the country, perhaps.
Definitely it could be. It just all depends. But we're keeping our fingers crossed for that. So.
Right. And one thing that social media has changed a lot of matters, or for that matter, the internet. Because you mentioned you put out a casting call on Craigslist. I'm sure you communicated with a lot of the people who were associated, actors as well as other people helping on the film through social media. And the other thing that's been going on lately has to do with crowdfunding, and that's something else that happened with this film as well.
Correct. Yeah, we had a crowdfunding on Indiegogo. We didn't reach our goal that we wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
but we had some pretty good donations. We had $1,000 donation, and then we had a bunch of other smaller ones. But we actually made this film probably for $1,500 or less, really.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. I mean, should I have a bigger budget? Yes, I would have liked a bigger budget, but when you're an indie filmmaker, you sort of make do of what you have, and you make the best of it.
And altogether, you met your costs because the money raised took care of that. And now it's the situation of getting it out there and having people see it. And obviously, they're already appreciating it. And so from here, there you go. So Mark Maj joining us. The film he put together, Super Deluxe, is going to be the closing act, if you will, at the Wildwood Film Festival in Appleton, Wisconsin, going on this weekend. You want to find out more about the festival itself, wildwoodfilmfest.com. You can find out more about it. If people want to find out more about the movie, do you have a Facebook page for it, right?
Yes, I do. It's a Super Deluxe movie on Facebook, and I also have a website, but it's one of those long web addresses that I'm probably not going to remember right now, but it is. I think there is a link on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Wix.com website. We have a little preview. There's a biography of all the cast and crew on there. There's some photos, behind-the-scene photographs. There's some behind-the-scene photographs of WRJN in there, too.
Great.
Film in there, so if you want to take a look at that, there's a few. I think there's some photographs of your station on the Facebook page too. If anybody wants to.
I'll have to check that out. I appreciate that, Mark. Yeah, and if you want, another thing, if you want to find the website for the movie Super Deluxe, Google Super Deluxe movie. That'll probably be able to get.
Yeah, that'll probably get to where you need to go.
Indeed, Mark Maj, congratulations on the success so far of this of your effort, movie wise, and continued success, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you, Ted. I appreciate it. Thank you a lot.
It's our pleasure. 11:21.